Jason, you're first, second, third, and fourth. Luke is fifth, I guess. Technically second. Um, Deanna, how are you doing? Let's try to get. Let's try to get this adjusted. The seat does not. Does it go down? I have no idea. Or up? It doesn't go up. So let's try to lower this maybe if we can. Scooter Bud, how's it going? I thought I had this adjusted right, and apparently I did not. So we're doing this in real time. There, I think that's a little bit better. I think. All right. The last few days, I don't have it together. I don't have anything together. Yeah, but I'm still supposed to have stuff somewhat ready, somewhat prepared. I do not have it together. I'm not even trying to pretend that I have it together. So, Mama Ranch, how are you doing? Angel, how are you doing? Try to join back later. No worries. Be safe out there. Yes, we're in Lincoln. We're in a hotel room. Let me get a chat going on my other phone so I can. Okay, not now. Thank you. If he was prepared, I would think the world is ending. Well, it might be in Florida. I don't know. CH, how's it going? Looks very relaxed. I don't know what I'm doing with my life, guys. I really don't. The last, I don't know, 4 days now. Yeah, basically 4 days. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. That is awesome. Almost at $100. Grind it out. Christina, how are you doing? Salisbury, Maryland. I'm just done doing Spark. Quit early because the app is just stupid. That has been me the last few days. Just all gig apps are stupid. Do any of us, honestly? Some are at least better at faking it than I am. I can't fake it. Stacy, how are you doing? Deb, how are you? Yeah, Saturday. Okay, so Saturday. Today's Tuesday. Yeah, Saturday. We did Uber for 12 hours. And that was a good day. I mean, money wise, it was a good day. Saw a very terrible car accident. Then Sunday we went out to do DoorDash, and I was trying to vlog a video, mentally I wasn't in the right place for it. And then I am on my way to drop an order off, and I pull up to a red light. There's one or two cars in front of me. I'm in the turn lane to turn right, and I look at my phone for a second, see what apartment building I'm going to, and I hear the brakes and the crunch of another car accident, and I realized I had the whole thing on dash cam, so I had to go. There was enough people that were witnesses. I knew somebody had called 911, but so I dropped the order off, went back, get back there. There's a cop already there. He's asking for witness statements and all of that, and who saw what. And I'm like, well, I didn't actually see it, but I got the whole thing on dash cam, and so I had to get it downloaded, transferred from the webcam or from the dash cam to the laptop, and from the laptop to my phone so that I could send it to the cop. Unfortunately, I don't know how it's going to work. Both cars end up getting a ticket, or both drivers of both cars end up getting a ticket. So one ran a red light, and the other one failed to yield, and the one that actually failed to yield the turn is actually the one that caused the accident. Turned right into the car that ran a red light. It was bad. You guys will see that tomorrow in tomorrow's video. Stacy, thank you. I am in Nebraska right now till Thursday. Deanna, I am a woman. I can fake it. You got a point. Try to live every day to serve my Father in heaven. This world sucks and is run by Satan. You're not wrong. When you open your eyes after getting some rest, you're blessed ahead of the game. That is true. I don't know what it is. I've just been completely, not unmotivated. I'm not even sure I'm burnt out. I might be burnt out. I've been doing gig work for so long, full time. And it is getting harder and harder and harder to do this full time. So that's a lot of what I'm dealing with. Jason got crunched one day. Yeah, that's not fun. Jeb says I'm hanging in there. My DoorDash app is now reading my shopping orders. It's rating them? Or rating? Oh, you got the ratings. The shopping order ratings. Yeah, I got that today. You got your regular ratings for all your delivery orders, and then you have shopper ratings now. I was actually it's good to see the shopper ratings, because other people have had them for a while, and I wanted to basically, the only reason I wanted to see them was I wanted to see how many total shopping orders I've done, and I've done over 2,500 shopping orders. Stacy says, I want you on my dash cam. How so? Lisa, how are you doing? Be back in a bit. No worries. Vicky. Good to see you too. How you been? Sounds like you're in need of a change. I'm in need of something. I don't know what it is. Some days I feel like the more and more these apps evolve and all these updates and changes and extra steps that we have to do, like the newest one for me is, randomly taking pictures of receipts before I pick the order up or when I pick the order up. And then having to take pictures of receipts when I get done with a shopping order. It's just like all these extra steps. And the more they implement these things, it's like the less that I actually feel like I'm my own boss, like I'm self-employed. Mary, no worries. Had to evacuate. Hope you made it out. I'm glad you made it out safe. I don't think you'd be on here hanging out otherwise. Christina says I was laid off from my pastry chef job and my position was given to my good friend of 12 years, who I hired as my assistant. Now I'm doing this ball squeeze full time. That sucks. Wow, I don't know how I would feel about that. Get laid off and my friend gets my job. I wouldn't necessarily blame my friend, but definitely adds a wrinkle. Any can more. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe no more DoorDash, and maybe I'll start selling feet pictures. I'm joking. I'm completely joking. I think it's time for Charlie to find a wild hobby to switch things up. Something to really look forward to. Well, I did spend the afternoon in a cemetery today. That was fun. I enjoyed it. Ellen, how are you doing? Yes, I am still in Nebraska. Got a hotel room for a couple nights. Sunny, how are you doing? Good to see you. Um, yes, prayers to all those affected by the hurricanes. The whole southeast, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, the Carolinas. Mother Nature is not happy with you guys right now. I don't know what you guys did. Oh, no worries, Sonny. Yeah, it's YouTube. I'll randomly get notifications for channels that I don't even have the notifications turned on to, and then other channels that I have the notifications turned on. I never get a notification for. So, um, a normal stream. Thank the Lord. I I don't know if there's much normal about me, but in comparison, probably. People that design these gig apps need to go out and actually do our job for a week so they can gain some empathy. I completely agree. But it's easy. It's easier for them. It's easier for the board members and the CEO and all of them to just put this into a computer program with the algorithm and AI and you know take their hands off, and then that way they don't have to feel bad. pretty sure that's how they do it. Been worried about you. You signed off the other night. You got to Nebraska, and then it was quiet. Yeah, I just been dealing with a lot. It's hard to sometimes you don't feel like anywhere's home. But we get on the open, for me, I get on the open road and I have no cares in the world. I have no stresses in the world. I have no anxiety, nothing. Which sounds like I would be great at driving truck, but I also wouldn't be my own boss. So Marianne, how are you doing? Do you care to share why you were in a cemetery today? If not, oh yeah, no, I wasn't visiting anybody that I know that I knew, or know. Same difference. No, I was doing a video for another for my other channel. I figured while I was here, and it's Tuesday, and Tuesdays here are completely dead. I turned the DoorDash app on, and I got one offer in an hour and a half. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go to a cemetery because honestly, for me, cemeteries are kind of, as weird as it sounds, going into a cemetery. It kind of does something to my brain. It's calm. It's quiet. It reminds me that you got to take time in life to do things that you actually enjoy doing. For basically all of us that do gig work, and most of us just in general life, we think that time goes by so fast, and in a way it does. But when you go into a cemetery and you're looking at headstones, and it's like, oh, this person, lived to they were 96. They lived such a long life, and I'm like, and it's all about perspective, because we're living and we're going, my God, this is going by so fast. But we look back on people that aren't here anymore, and it's like, wow, they lived to 96, 98. They lived to 80, 85. And it's like, they lived a long life. They must have done a lot. So it just kind of grounds me, kind of resets my brain a little bit. And like I said, I was doing video for the second channel because you can go on like Find a Grave and you can see, you can just search famous graves. So, and the famous graves are generally actors, musicians, politicians, serial killers, stuff like that. And I was looking at one of the cemeteries here. I was like, God dang, what do a spree killer, a football player, a Civil War general all have in common? They're buried in the same cemetery. So I decided, yeah, I'm just gonna go out and tell some stories of people that have been dead a while. Zach, what's going on? AG Dasher, what's up? We are ran and owned by AI. I don't see no microchip, but that's probably coming. Yeah, Raekwon, if you want to buy a guitar, go out and buy yourself a case of water and sell each bottle for $1. Everybody's thirsty, and if they see a teenager, they see a kid out there hustling, trying to make money, they're definitely most people are definitely willing to help. Ever thought of over the road truck driver? Yeah, I can't do that. My dad used to drive truck, and like I already spent enough time by myself. I'm trying not to spend even more. And truck drivers get so much disrespect on the road. That's creepy as F. Yeah, but yeah, I know cemeteries aren't everybody's thing, but if you're not at the end of your life, if you're not getting cremated, you're going to spend the rest of your life. Your body's going to be there in a cemetery. So, the older you get, the faster time goes. It just I wouldn't look at. I will stop owning a clock, and I'm just drinking sweet tea tonight. Privament from before. Okay. AG Dasher, what's up? /Privament. Good to see you. What is the other channel about? I need to check it out. The link is in the description of the live and most of the videos. It's I'm trying to get more comfortable doing those kind of videos too. I finally got used to doing DoorDash videos, but I'm doing like historical places, true crime places, like murder locations from spree killers and serial killers and all that. I've got 2 videos up there. I got true crime locations on Charles Starkweather, and I did a video in Virginia City, Nevada. I'm almost done with the cemetery video in Virginia City. The cemetery is super cool. I'm also almost done with my first of like 3 or 4 different videos on Mount St. Helens eruption. I've got this video going from today, cemetery. I gotta, on the way out of, when we leave on Thursday, I'm stopping in Hastings and I'm vlogging the Kool-Aid Museum, because why not? And there's a few places I want to vlog on my way back to Washington, so. Legate, oh, what's going on? How you doing? It has been a few days. I used to work in a toxic work environment at my old job where I was called a female dog, and my degree is too old. Like the paper's too old? Club that I went because it was toxic. Yeah, sometimes you gotta just remove yourself from toxic situations. Patrick, how's it going? Do I believe in reincarnation? I've looked into it. I mean, it's possible. Some days I feel like I've been here before. Not Nebraska, because I know I have been, but I definitely think it's possible. I've heard stories in that from people who, when they were kids, they remember things from like past lives, so it's possible. Jason will not be in a cemetery. I'm getting cremated. more and more I'm thinking I'm going that way because I have a little bit of claustrophobia, and I don't think I really want to, yeah, be buried. Lived next to a cemetery for a decade. Cool place to hang out and explore. Very peaceful. It really is. Like we spent, how long was I in the cemetery today? Like well over 3 hours. Went from one end of the cemetery to the other. Some of the headstones were just amazing. The detail and is the detail and the fact that the detail was still there on a, like, there was one headstone that had such intricate artwork, and it's been there since like 1888. So the fact it survived that long, and that's another thing with the cemetery in Virginia City. That thing, there's one headstone that was there 1876. And I know there's a lot older cemeteries as the more you go east, which is what I want to do. Message to everyone is don't let work get to you. It's not worth it. But it's not good for you mentally or emotionally, and make sure to take me time. Yeah, and sometimes, honestly, it's hard for. I would say that's probably the most difficult part about doing YouTube is, or doing DoorDash for YouTube. I'm to the point. I've been doing this full time for 8.5 years, and I know it's time for me to probably do it part time. That's probably what it's going to end up having to be. I mean, I can still put out videos 3 to 5 times a week and do gig work part time. So it's just going to be grinding through, putting out some quality videos on the second channel, and I guess get that channel monetized. I know I'm missing comments here. I'm trying to make sure. Mama Wrench says my nana was in Washington when Mount St. Helens erupted. Yep, May 18th, 1980. I want to see the Kool-Aid Museum. Glad you're doing that one. Oh yeah, I'm not, I can't leave Nebraska without doing that one. I want to do, if I can make it, Fort Robinson out in western Nebraska. I want to check that out too. I may have to do that on another trip, but I don't know. There's a few of you in here that do content creation. Has anybody worked or done anything with Patreon? If you have, let me know. I'm curious about it. Not for this channel, for the other channel. I know there's a lot of content creators that do what I want to do as far as the travel vlogs, and they do they use Patreon. So I'm just curious about that. I haven't really looked into it a whole lot. Shelly, how are you doing? I had a fascination with cemeteries. I was wondering what kind of lives people lived in the times they lived in. Yeah, and I also have a fascination with cemeteries for multiple reasons. And I enjoy going in there, and I enjoy the videos where people go in and and tell the stories of people who are buried there. Because, for the most part, 3 generations from now, nobody's going to know who you are. Nobody's going to know who I am. And being able to grab a camera, go into a cemetery, find some headstones, Google some names, um, be able to share a little bit about, some random name. I'm drawing a blank on names, just coming up with a fake name. Well, today, one of the graves that I stopped at was Charles Starkweather. Killed 11 people back in 1957, 1958. And I noticed that he's got a neighbor, somebody who died after him, is buried right next to him. And it hit me. I'm like, God dang, you can't take it when you go. But you also can't control who you're buried next to. And I feel bad. You look at this name on a headstone, and you're like, man, I feel bad that it's completely out of her control, but she's buried next to basically a serial killer. Kind of weird. AG says would want my ashes to be sent out to space to a random point. Does just like how it all started. I can make all kinds of jokes about being cremated. Might not be a bad way to go. Oh, mausoleums and cemeteries? Yeah, I didn't. Did I get to. Never mind. I didn't even make it to the mausoleum today. Mama Ranch is feisty tonight. I like it. Terry, how are you doing? Keeping platinum status is pretty hard part-time. I still seem to get decent murders on orders. I'm going to assume you meant orders on gold. Jason says I have a ton of work to get my channel monetized. 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. If I can do it, you can do it. If I can do it, anybody could do it. Ray Charles could do it. He's blind and dead. Hello to my Aunt Cindy. Snacky T, how are you? Lucky 7. Just got power, still waiting on internet. Phone service is limited. Well, I'm glad you at least have. I'm glad you have power and phone service. Graniteville, South Carolina, great cemetery. I might have to add that to my list. Yes, I'm a history nerd. I love history. I love everything history. The one thing about looking at history is looking at it in the context of that time frame and not the current time frame. Looking at like the founding of the country and slavery and all that. Obviously, yes, it was bad. Looking at it, though, in that time frame, that was just normal. Um, but even then, there were people against it. So, just that's the fun part about looking at history is not just looking at it, but trying to understand it in the context of what was actually going on in that time. Because, I mean, a few hundred years ago, people were burned at the stake. That was just normal. Most of them were well done. I don't think anybody wanted to be medium rare. Maybe I need to change my name to my other name to like sarcastic history or something. I don't know. Did you know you can find a grave tombstone online? I love looking at Find a Grave. There was another one too, like million and one graves or something. Lucky Seven says it's a grind. You can do it. It is. It is well worth it. And what, as far as like getting monetized on a channel? Rob says burn steak. Yeah, or even chicken, original or extra crispy. This country doesn't seem to learn from history. Um, it's a bit complicated. Sorry, Charlie, my phone is deciding what it wants to say. Change it right after the last minute, I guess. Hey, it's okay. That's why I'm super careful when I'm messaging customers and making sure that not using words that could be auto-corrected into something inappropriate, because that would be bad. Great cemetery that's supposedly haunted is Resurrection Cemetery, which is about 25 minutes away from the Midway Airport. The workers there make it super scary on Halloween. That sounds fun. The Little Boy in Graniteville, South Carolina, and many others. Rob Glow was just watching a vid on the history of witchcraft. As I mentioned, being burned at the stake. Did a catering order today, $834 worth of payway. Holy cow, that is a lot of food. Hopefully the tip was good. It's not an easy task to get people to understand history. There has to be a love for it. My son's a huge history buff. Agreed. And then a lot of people just like to pick and choose facts out of history to further their point or their agenda. So, got to look at history as a whole. Giggle Eyes, what's going on? I want extra crispy seasoning. I'm going to assume seasoning with original recipe. That works. Just got back from West Palm Beach, caught a 7-pound bass on vacation there, and now back to Giggle Live. Sisler, congrats. Just move closer to Tampa where the hurricane's going to happen, and you might just have some fish that end up landing in a pool for you, or land right on your front porch. Austin, what's going on? The little boy was found on a train here in the 1800s. No family around, and the township here came together and raised funds to bury him. Wow. Wow, that's wild. $30 tip, went less than a mile to drop off. I guess that I would have done 10%, but here we are. What are we at the Bates Motel in Lincoln? Nah, we're riding in style. We're staying in style. We're at the Quality Inn. Wasn't into history that much in high school and college, but now I'm more interested to it since I got older. Austin, you haven't had your IPA yet? Marion, yeah, I think that was the only subject in school that I actually did. If there was a grade higher than an A plus, I would have gotten it in history. I've just always been fascinated by history. I had to do science fair projects when I was in school, and so I'd do them on historical figures and history. Some areas of history I'm obviously more fascinated in than others. But the older I get, the more broad my look is at history. I think Austin will behave. What were the 90s like? Turn off YouTube, turn off your phone, unplug your internet, go outside, hang out outside until the streetlights come on. If you get thirsty, drink out of a garden hose. The 90s could be replicated for the most part. Oh, what else am I missing? The only thing that you can't replicate is being on the internet and your parents getting a phone call and net booting you off the internet. The days of dial-up. Mama Ranch, uh-oh, you travel fast. Don't hex me, says Rob. Koala TN. $260 in 7 hours. Kind of jealous. Thanks for not hexing me. Thanks for not stabbing me. Those were the days. Yes, they were. Heck, even some days your parents would forget that you existed. The 90s had Packard Bell computers and dial-up internet. It's more of a math nerd. I can do ask Excel file with formulas, and I have to have a cheat sheet for Excel. Turn on I Dream of Jeannie reruns at 8 p.m. TV Land. It's not a place, but a channel. I miss things like Ask Jeeves and AIM. Or AOL. You've got mail. Yeah, when you looked at the space, when you looked at the size of your floppy disk, that's not a euphemism. Napster and LimeWire. I don't miss the printers with perforated edges with holes. There was no TV Land when I was a kid. Maybe that's my issue. I grew up, I not complaining, but I did grow up watching reruns of like Andy Griffith and I Dream of Jeannie, I Love Lucy. I'm a 70-year-old man trapped inside a 37-year-old's body. Oh yeah, the perforated paper. Those were a pain. Play episodes of the Rugrats backward. That's the 90s. And Doug. Hey Arnold. Saturday cartoons and after school specials. And mornings for Sesame Street or Captain Kangaroo. I grew up with Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers. We need more Mr. Rogers in life, in society. Can you take a look? Can you look at the size of your floppy disk? You are an old soul, Charlie. I really am. Which explains so much. I'm slowly getting older, but my lack of patience is like on overdrive, especially lately. Oh, Ren and Stimpy, Cat Dog. I remember taking 10 minutes for a large JPEG of a Pokemon to load so I could draw it or print. You could slowly start seeing the photo as it rendered its way down, and then all of a sudden it would like stop because one of your aunts or uncles decided to call your parents and just disconnected you from the internet. HR Puffin stuff, Three's Company. Temple, how you doing? Oh, I still watch those. I'll find a way to watch them one way or another. I'll fight someone that disagrees. Only say nice thing about, oh, never mind, Sonny did. Romper Stomper Bomper Boo. Conjunction Junction, what's your function? Yeah, some of those names I feel like somebody may have been high on life or something else. Oh, what'd be a great name for a show? Yeah, that's a great name, and they just went with it. Three's Company was great. Beavis and Butthead, now that's the 90s. Jeffersons, All in the Family, Sanford and Son. Oh yeah, they were all high. Bananas in Pajamas. I know. You go back and you watch some of the cartoons from the 90s though now, and you see the innuendos in there. You know you laughed at them as a kid, but you didn't know what they meant. I think that's why we're the last generation to not be able to get offended. Yeah. That explains so much. Bugs Bunny, Elmer Fudd, Gilligan's Island, Roseanne, Life Insurance Man, what's going on? Gen X in the house. Pepe Le Pew. Oh yeah, all Looney Tunes. Yosemite Sam. Pink Panther. I'm in and out, just got an order. No worries, Snacky. Wonder how bad this channel would do if I just switched to doing the cemetery and historical stuff on this place. Would do terrible. Three Stooges, Little Rascals, Red Fox. Coming to see us, the big one. I remember Sanford and Son. Remember a lot of diarrhea commercials. Never see those anymore. Yeah, they've all been replaced by pharmaceutical ads. Hong Kong Phooey, that definitely would not be on TV today. Most of those shows wouldn't be on TV today. Back to doing eBay almost full time. Very little DoorDash and switched to selling all clothes. Sisler, if that's working for you, that's awesome. It's all about adapting. The Roadrunner and Coyote gave me anxiety. That is DoorDash. That is DoorDash in a nutshell. That's gig work. Yeah, that's definitely, that's the perfect analogy of gig work. Roadrunner, we're the Coyote, and the Roadrunner are all the orders. Oh, what else about the 90s? I was talking about this to somebody the other day. By the other day, it could have been last week or 2 months ago. 90s spam emails. Think about all the spam emails that we used to get in the 90s. It was all supplements, ED, and enhancements. And now if you turn on an FM radio station, that's about 90% of the commercials. So the 90s AOL spam folder is now commercials on the radio today. Mary, I hope you don't lose all your eBay inventory. How's Jamie Sampson doing tonight? You could probably do any content that you wanted, and we would be right here watching every bit of it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Some people have done that. Some people have made it work, and some people haven't. But I think sometimes YouTube doesn't like you switching up what kind of content you're doing. And I think it would probably give me an anxiety attack if I just switched to doing other content on this channel and I watched my subscriber count go. I mean, yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll think about it. Elizabeth, I'm coming to see you. That's right. I don't know why I spaced on the name. Because I space on most names. Shelly says singing along to Love You Baby in the car was my thing. My mother would quickly change the channel. Wally Gator, Magilla Gorilla, Mighty Mouse, Top Cat, Speed Racer. Steve Martin was so good in the Pink Panther. Oh, and Father of the Bride too, and The Jerk. If you, Austin, you have to have seen The Jerk. You have to have seen it. 90s Nirvana. Greatest American Hero TV show. Now they put enhancements on TV. Dial-up internet. What if I still get them in spam emails? What kind of websites are you visiting? I'm joking. They're probably still in spam. But I've just noticed that they're basically all ads, commercial ads on FM classic rock stations. Doesn't matter where I go. Want to do YouTube but can't resist mouthing the trolls, so don't. I got an email from somebody today asking me, I noticed it today. Actually, I got a couple emails. I got one from Solo. And I got one from somebody else offering their troll services. Capel says, sorry, missed the 90s part. Hey, no worries. Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. Curtis, how's it going? Mama Wrench says, Charlie, just slip it in with your regular bits. I'm glad you continued with that sentence. Go Speed Racer, go. The Jerk was a brilliant movie. Oh, definitely. Is one. You mean I'm gonna stay this color? If you haven't seen The Jerk, you have to. Funniest YouTuber ever. Well, I highly doubt that, but I appreciate it. I don't know how many times I've seen The Jerk. Too many. I was one movie. I don't know if you could see it actually too many times. I have never seen The Jerk. Austin? What are you doing with your life if you have not seen The Jerk? I want you to see it before next Tuesday's live. Can't believe you haven't seen The Jerk. Lord loves a working man. Don't trust Whitey. See a doctor and get rid of it. And his special purpose. The cans are exploding. Somebody hates those cans. Oh, somebody's shooting at him. If it's another Steve Martin classic, then absolutely. Oh, it is. He was born a poor black child. Again, another movie that cannot be made today. But Capo Pizza, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Luke says, wait, you mean the internet is spying on me and selling me stuff based on my search history? Yes. No. Search tinfoil hats and see if you start getting headwear in in your spam folder, or insulated blankets. What about Bob is a classic? Steve Martin and Bill Murray on SNL, the what the hell is it skit? Scotty, I don't know. I'm the wrong color to ask that. Liar Liar was good. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is another classic. Moon looks cool tonight. I don't know if I can see it from the window. I get ads for Instacart items I've shopped for that I would never get. That would be super awkward considering some of the stuff that I've shopped for. Average Dasher, what's going on? Hope you're all doing well. I just watched your video about DoorDash versus restaurants, and I can't say I've gotten any disrespect from any places yet. Yeah, for the most part, I haven't. I mean, every once in a while, you get the employee, you get stuck dealing with the employee that doesn't want to be there, which you'd think we'd get along great, because I probably don't want to be there either. But sometimes when I'm making a video, I can't come up with a topic, because I have moments where I can't come up with a topic. I go to the comments, and I've had a lot of comments leading up to that about issues at restaurants. So that's why I talked about that. Scotty, you can ask those in the timeout lounge. Snacks and baby oil are readily available, except at Costco. What cheap motel are you at with that curtain? The Koala-T Inn. Or somebody else said Koala-T Inn. Those cute, cuddly bears. Yeah, it was Rob. Why do I see tons of people putting up YouTube videos saying Dashers shove their phones in staff faces? Who does that? I've been asked to confirm, but never put my phone in anyone's face. Yeah, like I've been accused of shoving my phone in an employee's face, and it's like, first of all, I am like 8 feet away from that employee. I have long arms, but they're not that long, and I usually show them the order if it's either loud and they can't hear me, or there's a bit of a language barrier and they're not understanding what I'm saying. But I don't think really, for the most part, I mean, I have seen Dashers literally shove their phone right into an employee's face. Again, most of those have been a language barrier. I've even had employees just try to grab my phone out of my hand so they can see the order. Like, I'm sorry, I don't know where your hands have been. I know where my phone's been, but I don't know where your hands have been. blue paint that does it for me. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's like a sky blue. Our quality inn doesn't have blue. Oh, blue walls. I almost read it as blue balls. Sizzler, I'm back in Lincoln for 2 more days. 36 hours. Roughly. Koala TN. The no-tell motel. Oh, this place isn't that cheap. From what I've seen, you're nothing but the picture of polite and respectful. I love that. Well, I appreciate that. I definitely have my moments where I don't even know the word. Not rude, but I'm probably a little brash. Because if I have to, I'm nice the first time I say it. I'm still nice the second time I say it. If I have to repeat myself a third time, that's where I'm not completely sweet and polite. I'm politely a little more forceful. I know where my hands have been and I don't want to touch them. Angel's out there kicking butt. She did 115 on Uber. Is that a cat call? Maybe I am in the no-tell motel. Did I stop in to see the Raising Cane's roll yet, Charlie? No, I have not. But I was told by a Hy-Vee employee that I better come back this time and say goodbye before I leave, so I better do that. Last thing I need is a woman or a girl 1,600 miles away mad at me. They're super awkward. I will actually try to help them sometimes to Google Translate. I've actually started using the Translate app a little bit. I did, do I have it on this phone? Translate open. Yeah, I've been messing around with the Translate app. Trying to learn how to tell no tipping customers in Spanish to tip. You miserable human. I don't like other people touching my phone. I don't want their germs on my phone. I know, it's just amazing how we went from, in 2020, you didn't touch phones. I had to wear a mask. Some people went as far as like double masking, triple masking, wearing rubber gloves. And just show me your phone to back to just like snatching phones out of hands. Like, I don't get it. Glad I found your channel. It helps me feel like I'm going to survive the crazy that is DoorDash. Also, is DoorDash dropping us? I have seen a few videos where people are saying that. What do you mean by dropping us? I'm politely an arsehole. It's like, no, I am a very nice guy, but if I'm being somewhat brash to you, you probably need to look in the mirror and figure out what exactly you did. Because it actually takes a lot for me to flip that switch. Gig-wise, just getting home from my third delivery. You only done 3 deliveries today? What are you at, like $80? There are 2 rooms at our hotel of people who fled from 2 different hurricanes. One lost 2 condos and a new car. I don't know about the other. Jeez. It's rare for a bad interaction. I don't think in the years I've been doing this I've ever had a confrontation. I actually started I started this channel because of a confrontation. Well, it's half the reason. You get called an effing a-hole by a snot-nosed Taco Bell employee. It's as good of a reason as any. I have to use translate checking people in sometimes. Yeah, it could be really beneficial. Just wish more people would do it. I guess that's why you have insurance. Kind of miss Florida, but not hurricane season. You haven't heard Robin Williams talk about the weather. For everybody down in Florida, you need to listen to it again. He basically told people in Florida that if you're going to keep living in Florida, you should get yourself some styrofoam furniture. So at least when the hurricane and the floods happen, your furniture goes up and back down, and you don't have to replace it. They're hiring hourly wage drivers and drop-on independent contractors. Christina says, I downloaded a photo that politely asks whomever to not touch my phone, and it is displayed to the associate before going into the app. It has worked beautifully for me, and I've received compliments. That's not a bad idea. I might have to do that. Although my note would say, I don't know where your hands have been, so please don't touch my phone. I have not heard about them doing this. DoorDash hiring. I Google DoorDash hiring drivers, and I get job postings. Delivery driver, no experience needed. DoorDash. That's a lot of the issue. There's 21,000 plus DoorDash delivery driver jobs on Indeed. No experience necessary. There should be. I'm not seeing anything. Where did this pop up from? Because I'm curious. Just say no to the word snatched. Well, when you put it like that. Mary lost my car and washing machine and more. 274 for the day? God dang, Gigwise, you have to show some leg? I would have had to show some leg. I would have had to show more than leg to make that much. Did an hour VBT today, 1847 for 3 deliveries, 2 offers. Not great, but it is better than 0. That is true. Hurricane comes through again. Yeah. I don't think this is the Mr. Wonderful that is a multi-millionaire. Or is Kevin O'Leary a billionaire at this point? I don't know. How much can you make per week doing DoorDash? Depends how much you want to sell your soul. You can probably average 18 to 20 an hour, and so however many hours you want to work. I've had a couple $1,200. A couple of my best weeks have been $1,200 weeks, but I've still put in 60 to 70 hours. I've never had someone grab for my phone. I feel judged. Luke, well, do you have an Apple or an Android? Maybe it's pure speculation, but a channel named Driving with Brie was one of them. Don't know. I was just curious if you knew more. I haven't heard anything, and I generally Google DoorDash news a couple times a week, just to see if there's anything new. If Gigwise showed leg, they'd pay him to put that. Either way, you're getting paid. I look sleepy now. I'm drinking sweet tea. I'm not drinking sleepy time tea. Joe, what's going on, buddy? How much longer in Lincoln will be cool to run into before you leave? I'm gonna be in town till Thursday. I think my email is in the description of the live, so you could shoot me an email. It'd be good to see you before I get out of here. Luke says, now I feel double judged. I just didn't know if you had an Apple or an Android. I do primarily only do catering deliveries. Okay. Well, less is more. DoorDash is literally a gamble every time you go out. It definitely is. And it really hit me the other day when I saw that car accident happen, or I saw it on my dash cam, and just realizing, a lot of us are out at least double. Some of us that do this full time, we're out driving like 3 times as much as the average driver, which means we're at least 2 to 3 times more likely to get into a car accident, usually with an idiot. Because, well, you guys will see the video tomorrow. Like, one person ran the red light, another person didn't wait and decided to make a left turn right into the car. Like, how do you not see that? Is an Emerald Elite undelivered. Oh, thank you, Mama Wrench. Yeah, the brashdasher at gmail.com. There are people who claim to make 10K a month and 100K a year. It'd be a hell of a technically possible, and I don't know if I believe them. Yeah, it would be. Yeah, I don't know if I could. To do that, to make that much money, and to do YouTube. Yeah, I don't know if it'd be possible. Well, let's put it this way, because I do a lot of shopping orders, and we just got it. I just got the update, so I have my shopper rating, so I can see now, and it said that I have done 2,500 shopping orders, which is a lot. And I generally don't take anything. I've taken probably a couple like $6, $7 one or two item orders, but I have not. I don't do anything for $2 or $3 or $4 or $5. Not shopping orders. So let's say at 2,500 deliveries at an average of $13 per shopping order, which is on the low end. That would be $32,500. The 2,500 shopping orders is 6.8 shopping orders a day, 7 days a week, 365 days for a year. So to make 100,000, let's see. I'll say 10. You would have to take 10,000 deliveries in a year at $10 or more. And at 365 days, you would have to do 27.3 deliveries a day, 7 days a week for an entire year at $10 a delivery to make 100,000. So is it possible? You'd be putting a lot of hours in. Just saying. Possible, yes. You'd definitely be too tired to spend it. It's got a lot to do with demographics, how saturated in areas, how the income does the households have. It does, and like just comparing, the market that I'm in. Like I've got, the population of Battleground is like 21,000 people, and I've made. What is the most I've made in Battleground in one day without leaving Battleground, without going into Vancouver? 160. It is not like that every day, though. And I can, for the most part, in the past, have made 160 a day here in Lincoln. And Lincoln has over 300,000 people in it, so. There's a lot of factors in it. You'd have to stream from your car and no edited videos. Yeah, I don't know if I could do that. do those numbers in my market is very possible, but it would cause burnout pretty quick. Yeah, without a doubt. Like even in this market, um, I've had days where I've been able to do 27 to 30 deliveries, but there's not possible for me to do $10 orders and up only. I would be sitting for way too long declining stuff. So yeah, I mean, is 100K a year in gig work possible? In gig work itself, yes. In DoorDash itself, you would hate yourself. Know what I need to make, I go make it and call it a week. That's what I need to start doing. I don't though. I noticed an influx of people running red lights and stop signs lately. Defensive driving skills are essential. Definitely. I'm still on Spark waitlist 2. I've been on the waitlist forever. Plus, fast food workers tend to hate us. I don't know if they necessarily hate us. There's plenty of fast food workers that just hate everything. They hate life. I don't DoorDash. Uber Eats is the only food app I use. When I do, I typically want to accept orders under 10 to 11, and I don't do fast food orders. Good restaurants will get you a lot more hidden tips. Well, in that right, there is an upside of Uber Eats over DoorDash because really, your acceptance rate does not matter. You can still have the app on. I think Uber Eats is. I would imagine they're the same as Uber when it comes to 12 hours a day. I've done Amazon Flex, drive a cargo van, and Flex just racks up too many miles to make it worth it for me. Yeah, I mean, I doing Uber like in Nebraska on a game day for college football. You're gonna drive a lot of miles. The money though, if you're just looking at it as a simple cash grab for a day. I don't know very many places where you can go out and in 6 or 7 hours you've made $300. Now, granted, you're probably driving 150 to 200 miles, but again, be willing to swap. I'd be willing to do that. Make 350 in like 6 hours, 6-7 hours. You're talking $50 an hour. There's only so many miles you can drive in town in an hour. $100K is very possible, but not likely on just DoorDash. Yeah, you definitely have to multi-app. I'm old enough to be your mom, going man, so hush. What did I miss? Oh, young man, so hush. Wait, did I say something? But if you log out a couple of times, that goes out the window. And it's only counts at 12 hours of active driving. So I ran out of hours on Saturday. So I actually I'd probably end up costing myself some money driving during the, actually not even driving during the game. It was not stopping new ride requests once I picked somebody up. There's a perfect zone here with all open schedules. Places with open schedules, you know, there are less drivers. And some of those are always busy, so you don't need silver to dash now. Just got on, CH just got on Amazon Flex and it's hot trash. Oh, you were Hush in Austin. Okay. Whew. I know sometimes I get to talking and it's like, did he just say what I thought he said? And I don't even remember what I said. That Mama Wrench says that she's older than Obi-Wan. I personally haven't heard from Spark. I got the cough button in time. I almost didn't make it. Okay, CH? Okay? Is the eBay seller in here? Sisler, you still in here? There's actually there's a couple people in here that sell on eBay. I thought Charlie was throwing up. No, tickling my throat. Rob, what's going on, buddy? Yeah, Vikings are doing good this year. Used stuff or replushables? A lot of stuff on eBay is used stuff. You're good, Charlie. They missed the floppy disk euphemism. Let's not talk about what was tickling your throat. Haha. It's the dry air. Deanna says not as good as the Chiefs. Who's my team? We're not going there. We're not going there. Let's put it this way. On Sunday, my team's defense. I think they traded jerseys with a high school team. And my other team had somehow still pulled out a win, but the quarterback threw two interceptions. What was the record? Is the first quarterback to throw 2 interceptions in 2 different days during the same game. Adidas officially has an eBay store now selling new stuff. I think a lot of most resellers in that on there are selling used stuff. It's gonna get harder to sell new stuff. I feel like there's a few there's a few reselling channels I watch. Deep down, you know, Charlie is a Bears fan and will be flying to London and we'll see the game. I was really rooting for Justin Fields in Chicago. Mama Ranch is a hockey girl from New England. I like the Packers and the Chiefs. Always have, always will. Yeah, it's okay to have two teams. I've always had two teams. Catch in, how are you doing? Touching base, gotta grab nap. Still must pack clothes, food, hunt for wee bit. Pack, unpack, pack car, load fur babies, and pull out 5-ish. Now supposed to be direct hit here. Definitely get out of there safe. Get out of there early. You better get out of there early. Rob, you're selling new stuff on eBay? Sonny, it's good to see you too. Appreciate you hanging out. Y'all try the new Krabby Patty at Wendy's. I just saw it today. DoorDashers playing around. They kept sending me offers that have already been picked up. I've had that happen a lot more lately. It's just a waste of time. You know, sometimes it's a customer that says they didn't get their food. Sometimes it's a dasher that unassigned the order after picking it up. And sometimes the customer actually did get their food and the order just is still bouncing around in the DoorDash app and it just keeps going sent back and forth. So I don't. DoorDash should not have any problems. They shouldn't have any problems. They're a multi-billion-dollar company who basically does nothing. The customers order the food, the restaurants make the food, we deliver the food. DoorDash just needs to have an app, have a system that works well, doesn't have issues. Shouldn't be that hard. But yet, you can call support and hear chickens in the background. There's someone who said today that traffic is so bad it took them 15 hours to go from Orlando to Navarro Beach. Yeah, I heard somebody else say that traffic was bad. Traffic was moving at like 10 miles an hour. There's that many people trying to leave. Took one resident here 6 hours to go from Bradenton to Orlando, normally less than 2. Yeah, if I had a private plane, I'd be in there flying people out left and right. That would, yeah. Maybe one day I'll have a private plane. I don't know. Can you still get those foam planes at the store? That's about as close as I'm going to come to a private plane. Simone? Simon? I'm scared. I'm really scared. Once a Michigander, always a Michigander. Ain't no Texan. Yeah, but Texan is a little bit easier to say than Michigander. But Michigander is also easier to say than Washingtonian. See, that's what happens. You get timed out. Tessa, how are you doing? And I am a Texan. You can't claim it unless you spend miserable winters here like I do, says Lisa. That actually is a valid point. Peculiar Optics. What's going on? How you doing? Austin says I put in my 16 years. That's enough. Waiting on a hurricane? I prefer the hurricane drink, not the actual hurricane. Hope you're staying safe down there, though. Been in Michigan in winter one time and walked on a frozen lake. Missouri is mild compared. Austin says, Deanna, thanks for your donation. Red Wings need all the help they can get. Pour me a hurricane before I go insane. Only 12:30, but I don't care. What can you really do? Pray and buckle up for the ride. That's about all you can do. If I had the means, I would have went to Florida to video the hurricane. Yeah, let's go. I wouldn't make it in time. Looks like Athena burnt water. That's a talent. Can't deny that. That is a talent. I can't talk about foreign policy like anyone who spent their life reading and learning foreign policy, but as a citizen in a democracy, it's very important that I participate in that. Lisa says the boy living in Texas. I guess there's a bigger rivalry from Texas and Michigan than I thought. Florida is literally off the chain right now. People are losing their shit. Snow cane is what they called it. Winters in Chicago is crazy too, with snow and cold. We have 2 seasons here, summer and winter. That's about like Nebraska. It's 2 seasons, hot or cold. Dan, yes, I did. We're at the Quality Inn. Oh, Jason, don't. CH was making a joke. I know it's politics, but it's okay. It's CH. He's a regular. CH, don't go anywhere. YouTube really needs to find a way to have an option so you can untime out somebody. Yes, we're the Koala Tea Inn. Lisa says Austin and I gotta talk smack with each other. I gotta keep him in line. Well, Lisa, as a fellow guy here, yeah, we need to be kept in line every once in a while. I guess, do I have a son or a daughter? I don't know. Hello, White Lightning. Chicago's playing. Wow. Dan, yeah, still in Nebraska. Till Thursday. So, what, another kind of 2 days? Seen the comment and axed it immediately. Oops. Jason, it's okay. CH, I hope you're still in here. Van, how's it going? Medicated Bob. What's up, brother? How you doing? Got a lawyer for the dog bite that got me. Good. Hopefully they can move forward quickly on that. Downtown Chicago is great though. My older brother went to college there. So many good memories. Yeah, I gotta get to Chicago at some point. Never been east of the Mississippi, to be honest. At some point, I might change that. Dunkin' yo-yo-yos are the best. Stepping Evanston, or is that Skomberg or Schomburg? I'm gonna try to pull something up here. Dan, always good to see you. We do have a couple Dans in here. Appreciate it. Always good to see you. Try to pull something up on the laptop so I can try to show you guys. Yeah, we'll probably go live. Probably go live at some point on the drive back. Just give me all the eggs and bacon. Wait, I worry what you heard was give me a lot of bacon and eggs. What I said was give me all the bacon and eggs you have. Do you understand? Back. Sorry for the misinformation. The channel's right along with Bree, and I guess she was saying it could end in certain markets, not completely. Mistakenly took it the worst way. Hey, no worries. No worries. I appreciate you. I appreciate you clarifying that, and yeah, I appreciate it because I'm the same way. If I take something that a certain way or the wrong way, and then I'm like, oh wait a second, I'll go back and correct myself. That's just part of being human. So no worries. Chicago has an almost skyline. Want to see the video? It is 1 minute 24 seconds. I have it in Dropbox. Of the actual dog attack? Come on. It is good to wear a GoPro, or any kind of camera, really. Yeah, you can email it to me. I'm trying to find this creepy but cool part of the cemetery. I saw today. Can I put it in chat? Let's see. Oh, skip. Come on, let me talk. Let me gmail.com. There we go. That is my email. I need to get up. Have a good night, Lisa. It's always good to see you. I was watching a DoorDash driver, and he was driving the whole time with his seatbelt alert dinging. That you just buckle the seatbelt in behind you. I actually did that today, although I was just driving around the cemetery, so it was. I was going like 5 miles an hour, but yeah, I just buckled it in behind me because I didn't want to keep hearing the dinging, and I was getting in and out of the car so much. Yeah, they got the little seatbelt things for your dog's leash, so it connects to the leash, and it actually goes right into the seatbelt thing, so you don't. You can get those. It's really cheap. Yeah, this cemetery especially, because it was most of the road is old brick, and some of it's got tree roots that popped up, so random bumps, and yeah, it was not. I have a new Dasher question. Go for it. Go for it. Is it normal to get double orders on EBT or just by chance? I feel like I see it happen a little bit more on earned by time than I do per order. But I mean, I generally, if the order makes sense, I don't mind taking them on earned by time, because that is actually longer that you are in a trip. So every minute, I feel like, yeah, definitely base pay wise, you make a lot more by doing stacked orders on earned by time. Gas station showing out of service bags on pumps, but people filling up. This BS. So ugly and intentional. Happened to me Friday, saying premium only. I filled up with regular. I've seen a bunch of videos about that. That's, yeah. Speaking of cemeteries, Phantasm is a great horror series. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I was walking through, and let's see. Got a double order and then an add-on on top of the 2 orders, and was stressed out because it was going to be hard to complete them all on time due to our restaurants versus customers. That is why I always and will always give them a reason why I'll hit the what's going on with the order thing, and store busy, order still being prepared, couldn't get help from employees. I pick one of those. I pick one of those options on every order, just to cover my butt. So I definitely recommend doing that. Um, let's see. I don't want sound. There's two headstones that I saw today that were really kind of cool, odd, weird, but cool. We're ready for war night. All catch it. Have a good night. Be safe out there. Um, yeah, if I don't get any help within, or even any acknowledgement within like 3 minutes of being in there, I will put that I couldn't get help from an employee. So, do you guys want to see a couple things from the cemetery today? I'd say it's not gig related, but Tuesday nights aren't ever gig related. If I'm really frustrated, I'll check all the boxes, back out, and do it again. Well, now just be careful because there's a difference from order still being prepared and order not started yet. All right, yeah, okay. You guys want to see a couple? Let's see. I'll try to. It was actually a really nice day out there. This first one though is a full-on statue leaning on top of a grave. Wait, let me back up. It is bumping out. Oh, there. I'm playing around with new editing software. But it is a full-on, super detailed statue leaning on top of a grave. Thing's like over 100 years old. And very nice Celtic. I don't think this is what I. God dang it, I didn't click on the right one. That one's really detailed too, but. Let me try to find the other one that I clicked on that was actually supposed to be it. Oh. This one. Where's the play button? Okay. This one was actually, it's cool, but it's kind of creepy because I was slowly driving by and then I got out of the car and I really felt like somebody was watching me. Well, somebody was watching me. So this is a more modern, I think, modern addition to it, but a very old picture because that girl died in 1891. So very cool, but very, very, very kind of creepy if you're driving through a cemetery and you're like, hey, does it feel like somebody's watching me? Well, because somebody was staring at me. Red, what's up, brother? 15 months. God dang, 15 months. You were the OG, the first to, I think you were my first channel member. Yeah, we had fun in the cemetery today. Well, there's Red fashionably. Just a little bit. I always feel like somebody's watching me. It's a very, very weird feeling when you're in a cemetery and then you look over and you see that picture on a random headstone. Steve, it was cool, but it was also just weird. The number of squirrels that are running through that cemetery, and they kept like, there'd be like two, one would be chasing the other one, and the one that was being chased would just hop up on top of somebody's headstone, like. I'm just looking at that squirrel, like, if you can jump up there, the other squirrel can too. You're not getting away from anybody. Sorry, watching Dodgers stink on ice. It's okay. Yeah, oh crap, it is after 10. We gotta jump off here though. Mini plush, what's going on? Average dasher, yeah, I gotta get off here too. Johnny, are you liking more where you live now? Oh, out in Washington? Yeah, it's getting used, taking time. I can't talk anymore. It's gonna take time to get used to being out there. Left my back porch screen door open. My dog just ran up to a lady walking a couple dogs to sniff. Oh boy. No, it doesn't need to end. Still nursing this IPA. God dang, Austin, you're still nursing it? Are you gonna drink it or take it on a date? Jason. Am I British? No. Definitely not British. Who knows? You may meet the love of your life in Washington. Johnny, at this point, I don't know if the love of my life is alive. She may have got ran over by a bus or a crappy purple Scion. I don't know. I don't know many British. How is London? I don't know. I'm American. History began on July 4th, 1776. Everything that happened before that was a mistake. What's my net worth? I can afford to go to McDonald's. If you look at or front window, there's a Comfort Inn across the street. Oh, it's reaching for straws. There's a Comfort Inn down the interstate a few miles. The revolution occurred before July 4th, 1776, just saying. I know, I was just quoting Ron Swanson. I am going to jump off here, though, guys. I'm having... But you guys all have a great night. Someone is out there. You just have to find them. Like I said, they either got ran over by a bus or they're blind. And that's why they haven't found me. Little shrimp. I'm not that fancy. Tessa, have a good night. AG, Ellen, Rob, Austin, Mama Ranch, Rob, and Red. You guys all be safe, have fun. Luke, for some of us, it would be better if they were blind. Hey, like I said before, every date Ray Charles went on was a blind date. So I will see you guys. We'll go live. Well, I'll see you in the comments tomorrow's video, and I will see you live probably on Thursday. So be safe, have fun.